Hello my friends, welcome to my channel where I make Affinity fun and easy to learn. In this video, I'm walking you through the process of creating a thumbnail design inside of Affinity Studio, just like this, right? So if this is one thing you want to learn how to do, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and you turn on post notification so that you don't miss any of the videos I'll be dropping anytime from now. Without having to say much, let's get started. So like you can see here, I have my document ready. It's a 1920 by 1080. I'm just going to draw my rectangle, 1920 by 1080 pixels. That's what I used. So I'm going to fill it with a black color like this. I'm going to extend all of this to cover the rectangle well. So that is the first thing you need to do. Now, the link to the resource file is in the description of this video. So you can use and practice along with me, guys, right? So I'm just going to bring this image inside. This is more like a banking hall, and I'm going to increase the size like this. Yes, just to cover space. I'm going to click on adjustment layer and I'm going to click on HSL. And I'm going to turn down the saturation like this and click out when you're done. Like this. I'm going to bring down the opacity here. And we're going to set it to like 20. I think this actually works. I'm just going to go over to adjustment again, curves. And I'm just going to add the curves adjustment to this like this. Right? So I have it this way. I'm going to click out like this. I'm going to hold down shift, select everything and group them. So I'm just going to name this BG. Right? So you can easily come back here to adjust what you want to adjust. Select your pen tool and let's draw a graph. So I'm going to select the color first, right? Make sure you're not clicking anything when you're selecting that color, right? So draw with your pen tool like this. And click, click, click like this, and until you have something like this. Now let's modify this, right? So I'm going to use my node tool. I'm going to use my node tool and I'm just going to drag this down like this. Bring this downward like this. And of course, I want to duplicate this. So Ctrl J to duplicate this. Now you have to pay attention here. Let me hide this one on top. This first one is what we are going to use as our base. So remove the outline and leave the fill color. So I'm going to change this, the blend mode to soft lights, right? So I'm using soft light for this. So I'm going to turn on this one. I'm going to remove the fill color. So click on fill, remove the color. And for the outline, I'm going to use a green color, right? So you have a green color. So this is the stroke value. So you can increase this. I'm using a 2.7. So you want to duplicate this. That's the outline. Ctrl J to duplicate this. And with this one, what I'm going to do is very, very easy. I'm going to name this original. Now with this one underneath, this one here, I'm going to add the live blur effect to it, right? So click on live filters, Gaussian blur, and I'm going to increase the radius until I get this effect, right? So this is like a glow effect using this. So I can duplicate this once more, Ctrl J to make this effect pop more. I can set this to screen, and when I'm done with everything, I can go on to group all of them. So click this one, and group them all together like this. So I'm going to do the same here, but I'm going to use a red instead of a green, right? So I'm selecting the red, right? So I'm just going to draw this, drag this, and I'm going to have something like this here, right? So fill color red. I'm going to repeat the same thing I did for the first one, duplicate this. I'm going to hide this. For this one under here, I'm going to remove the outline, just the fill color, and I'm going to change the blending mode to soft lights. Okay, this is normal. Make sure you're working on the one under it, right? So I'm just going to hide the outline, and of course this one will be soft lights. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the one on top, which is this one. Turn it on, and the outline is going to be red, while the fill color, the outline red, and you don't have any fill color. So click on none for the fill color like this. So with this one also, I'm going to make a duplicate copy of this. So Ctrl J with this, and of course go over to live filters and go over to Gaussian blur. And I'm just going to increase the radius to get my value. And when I've gotten what I want, I'm just going to click out and duplicate this layer, Ctrl J. And you can change the blend mode here to screen. And yes, screen. So I have my graphs ready. So I'm just going to have one to group this also. So I'm just going to name them red and green. Easy peasy. So now I have this in place. Let me go on to bring in, let me adjust this. I'm just going to adjust this. Yes, just going to adjust this, and that's all. So I'm just going to go in and bring in the image of the currency I'm going to use. So I'm just going to go over to my resource file, and I'm just going to drag this. You can use anyone, or I choose to use this. That's why I'm using this. So drag this inside here, and I'm going to place this here like this. And you have this here. I'm going to duplicate this. So hold down the Alt key and drag, or you can click on Ctrl J or press Ctrl J. And of course, I'm going to rotate this to show increase, right? So small and big kind of, right? So I have this done. I'm going to go over to my resource file again, and I'm going to bring in the picture I'm going to use. This is the main subject, right? So expression and everything perfect. Click on remove background to remove of the background, right? You can do it manually, but I'm just going to use Affinity's AI to do this. So I've removed the background. Let's modify this image, because if I zoom close, you can see it's kind of flat. And of course, if you're making thumbnails, you need to make sure that your subjects and everything is looking popped out. So I'm just going to turn on the clarity like this, and I'm going to go to shadows and highlights. I'm going to make adjustments here, increase the highlights and reduce the shadows like this, and go over to details, refinements, increase this, and of course increase the amounts like this. You can go on and on and on, but I'm just going to settle with this. And when I'm done, let me see, I'm going to click on develop like this, and go back there. And this time I'm just going to do only one thing. I'm going to increase the clarity. So locate clarity and increase like this, so I can have a popped image. So click on develop when you're done, and of course your image is ready, right? So the next thing I like to do is I would like to create some light effects around this image. So I'll click on recolor under adjustment layer, and I'm going to start with the red. Copy my settings for this, drag on top of the image like this to create a clipping mask, and open this up like this and create a mask with it. Right click here and click on invert, and we're just going to put this effect where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to switch over to my Pixel Studio, and of course I'm going to press D on my keyboard to switch to default brushes, and I'm going to make sure my foreground color is, let me reduce the size of my brush. I'm going to make sure that my foreground color is set to white. So flip this and make sure it's white. And with my brush selected, I'm just going to gently paint on these areas here like this, these areas here like this. And of course, when I get this done, I'm going to flip. This is my settings. My flow is set to 36. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to click on recolor again. This time I'm going to use green. So I'm going to switch this hue and move it to where I have green. Close this up, and of course, the same process. Invert this. With your brush selected, go over these places like this. And instead of doing this in the hand region, I just want to do this here. Reduce the size of my brush and come here and apply these effects here over the hand, the clothes here. And you can reduce the size of your brush so that you can cover small areas like this. So now that I have this, I'm good with this. This is just perfect, but you can make yours perfect than mine. Right. So I have this done. I'm just going to click a new layer. And of course, with my brush selected, so delete that. Close this up and click on it. Create a new layer above it. It should be above it. So click like this. So you have your layer here. Go over to your brush and make sure you select green as your color. We can make the brush bigger manually by holding the bracket key. That's the one after the letter P. And I'm just going to click one to create a nice glow effect just on top here. And over here, I'm going to switch things off, change the color, create a new layer, and I'm using red this time. So click here because this is the red side. So I'm just going to click once here like this, and I have my glow effect here. So to make this entire effect realistic and all, that's why we have to do all of this. So group them, and of course, you can change the blend mode to screen and reduce this just like this. In everything, make sure you're not doing too much. Okay, so now that that is out of the way, let's move on. Okay, so this is our glow effect. You can increase it as you, just like you want it to be. But I'm going to leave mine like this. I'm going over to my Vector Studio back, and I'm going to use my text tool to type this out. So this is $0. So it's from $0 to duplicate this. And this is going to be $50 million, like this. So 50M, like this. I'm going to drag this closer so that I can have this. So move this upward like this. And yes, this is just perfect. So what I'm going to do next is go over to my source file. I'm going to bring in this, and I'm going to put it here, make it smaller. So this arrow is just going to be pointing towards these figures, right? So before then, I would like to convert this, but let me rotate this first. So it's pointing towards this and make it smaller. Of course, we have a problem. It's in black. So let's make it white. So click on FX and click on color overlay and click on the color here and move it to where you have a white, and easy peasy. Right. So I'm going to duplicate this. Hold down your Alt key and your Shift key to move this on a straight line and flip horizontal. That's all basically. So let's make this more realistic with the texts, with the figures, and let's create that light reflection on the text. Right. So what I'm going to do here is, or before then, I'll switch over to the Pixel Studio and switch my colors to black using my pens brush. I'm just going to add some shadows here. Make sure you are using the settings that I'm using too to get the same results, right? So my flow is set to 36 and the softness of my brush is, okay, so like this. So I'm going to click on color balance. I'm just going to make these few changes. The greens also, the shadows. I'm going to add some blues to it. The highlights. I'm going to add this to it to have a realistic outlook. right? So I have this color balanced. I'm just going to go over to the text, and I'm going to my vector studio, going back to vector studio. I'm going to select my fill tool, and I'm going to drag from this point from green to white like this. And I'm going to select this, and I'm going to drag from white to red. So select the red, and this is what I have. So easy peasy. So I can select my image and try and move it to the middle like this. And yes, so it's centralized the way I want it to be. And of course, do not forget your lights. So also move it alongside. And yeah, you're good to go. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, if you've practiced this and it is something you got value from, make sure you don't forget to click the like button. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to share this video. I will see you in the next video. Ciao.